emergencies. CNBC's Jane Wells joins us now with more. I don't know whether you took one of your new bullet trains to where you are. Which certainly you got to get those things going. Don't worry about these cities.
Yeah, $68 billion. Joe, it's gotten so bad the presumed Republican nominee is making fun of us. Listen.
If entrepreneurs and business people around the world and here at home think that at some point America is going to become like Greece or like Spain or Italy or like California, I'm just kidding about that one, but if they think, in some ways.
So, where do we stand in California's earthquake of fiscal emergencies? Here's the latest. The quake began, of course, in 2008 when Vallejo went Chapter 9, emerging 3 years later, a shell of its former self, but solvent. The main jolt happened this summer as Stockton went into bankruptcy, and a judge just ruled Stockton can cut medical benefits for current retirees. That's a big deal. Mammoth Lakes and San Bernardino followed, still seeking approval for Chapter 9. At least 6 cities had declared fiscal emergencies, allowing them to try to raise taxes. You got Fairfield and Hercules up north, and down south, La Mirada, Stanton, Culver City, the heart of Hollywood, and El Monte, which is using the emergency to try to pass a soda tax. But wait, there's more. At least 4 cities are thinking of declaring an emergency or have threatened to over the last year: Duarte, Compton, Fresno, Oakland. Finally, San Jose threatened a fiscal emergency, but voters instead approved a landmark plan reducing benefits for current retirees, unheard of outside of bankruptcy, but may have kept the city solvent, though that plan is expected to be challenged in court. Analysts point to other potential problems in cities like Pomona and Inglewood. Many say the straw that broke the budget's back was when the state took back redevelopment money to pay its own bills. When I asked one bond specialist, hey, this can't happen in L.A., right? Because there's all the cash flow in L.A. The specialist replied, you sure about that? That's the mindset we're dealing with out here right now.
Thanks, Jane, very much. We're going to talk about that now with our guest host, California entrepreneur, Jean-Paul.
Sounds to me like they're learning Business 101. You could only spend what you make. I feel bad for the people that are going to lose their jobs. I really do. Hopefully there'll be something out there in the private sector. For sure in the hair care industry, there's things out there. But they're learning the lesson.
But what happened again and again in those cities? Over-promises to public employees?
Not only over-promises, but they spent more than they took in. Anticipating more taxes are coming in, they'll handle it at the other end. Example, in California now, I heard about this bond they're passing that'll be paid in 40 years. It's for $1 billion, but nobody pays it for 40 years. So future generations are stuck with that. In other words, it's business. They're not running the city or the state like a business. They're just spending money. They're not balancing their books. It's a hard lesson to learn, but that's what they have to do. So what'll happen? They're going to be forced to do it. You start raising taxes too much, people will leave. You wonder about what do you do with those that do make money to help the state of California out? I just bought 10,000 acres over the last 3 years in Northern California of conservation land, so people would have that forever and not have to be sold off because the state's getting in trouble. They've got to run the state like a business. They have not been doing that. So it's all of a sudden, oh my God, it happened. Of course it happened. It's been brewing for all these years. What is the answer? Balance it right now while you still can. A few people will be hurt. We're sorry they're going to be hurt. Let's all pitch in and try and get them back on their feet again. But this is a crash course in Business 101. You spend what you make, not what you anticipate making.
So even the stuff you saw in Wisconsin and what happened, you would say that that had to be done? You're behind. Would you say, Governor Walker, you did the right thing?
Governor Walker, you definitely did the right thing, okay?
Well, you're crazy. Yeah, I mean,
you may get hurt.
None of your friends must like you. You
no,
got the ponytail, you live in California.
My friends like me.
They do?
Of course they like me, my God, because I believe in giving back is the way of life.
But you got to be in a position of, you got to be successful to give back.
Yes, you do. And if you
so you shouldn't feel bad about being
successful. Not at all.
If
If you are successful, everyone's responsibility is to give back. Success unshared is failure. Whether it's buying acreage of land for society, whether it's helping the homeless get back to work again, whether it's feeding people or teaching them how to feed themselves. Right. That works. The handouts don't.